All right, so welcome to the Tower Garden Q&A. We're going to share with you how to grow your own produce, why, how, and all the good stuff. And then at the end, if you have questions, we'll make sure that we get those answered for you. My name is Robin, Certified Nutrition Specialist, and I consider myself a fruit and vegetable dealer. My goal in life now is to help people figure out how to get more produce in their bodies and inspire their family and those around them to do that, because I know I've been a nutritionist for 13 years and I know that plant foods, it heals the body. I know that. And so when it comes to nutrition in our families, I know that we all want to do the best that we can for our families. I'm going to talk about the reality of our produce. Because the soil is depleted, the crops that we have today are lackluster of the vitamins and minerals that our bodies need. And it's stripped. All of the modern agriculture has really stripped our soil of nutrients. So that means that the produce that you're getting in your body is not giving you what you think. People don't realize that we need 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. And then people will say, well, I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. The ones you eat, honestly, are not what you think they are. Just to give you this idea, when you go to the store and you purchase something from your local grocery store, that produce has usually been picked before it was ripened, because it can't be picked ripe and then sit in the grocery store. So it has to be picked before it's ripened, sit in there and wait for you. And that's before all of the nutrients have gotten into the produce. So that's one of the challenges. And you can see there's a direct correlation between the decline in our food quality and in our health of our society. And then we have this thing of food insecurity. We know that our nation has went through a year of wildness, and being able to get fresh food and go out of the house and all of those things were challenging for some people. And growing your own food is a way to secure your own food source, that you don't have to figure out, where am I going to get this from? Is it vine ripened? Does it have pesticides? It's at your home and you know how it's grown. And so we're really passionate about showing you how we grow and hopefully inspiring you to do that. And so we use a device called the Tower Garden. And I was introduced to the Tower Garden 5 years ago, and I knew that I didn't have a green thumb. I didn't want to put my hands in soil. And they told me that it was so easy that I couldn't mess it up. And I said, I want one. And so I've been growing ever since. And it's been the best thing that's happened to me. So a Tower Garden is a patented vertical aeroponic growing system. It uses air and water to produce the fruits and vegetables. So there is no soil. And the question is, well, if there's no soil, then where do the nutrients come from? So the tower uses an all natural earth mineral growing solution. So all of the stuff that's supposed to be in the soil is in the tower tonic. And this is designed for both plant and human nutrition. So you're getting lots of nutrition, what you're needing when we grow from the tower. And the tower was created by the chief horticulturist at Epcot Center many years ago. And he just saw the opportunity and created the tower. And so at the present time throughout the world, 80% of the land that is suitable for raising crops is in use. So we can't grow on the land, right? The horizontal gardening. So with the tower, it's vertical, that you don't need as much space. You don't need the land because it's growing up. It is truly the future of urban gardening. So why the Tower Garden? It's easy. That's the first thing. It's easy. If you compare it to traditional gardening, it's easy. It's healthy, and you can have organic, fresh produce at your fingertips. Literally a farmer's market at your back door or in your home, because it grows indoor or outdoor. And aeroponics grows stronger plants. Increased O2 helps the roots grow faster without disease and pests, as many pests as you would find in your traditional garden. And it grows very fast. I just learned today, I knew the produce growed fast, but I now know how long it takes to grow. You can eat within 30 days with the Tower Garden. You can have produce in 30 days. It's higher yield and less space. So 30% average yield higher than if you were like more produce than if you were growing out of the ground. Very high in antioxidants, less time, less maintenance, less land, less water. And the tower garden really is, as I said, the future of urban gardening. Last year, for this, well, this whole year, so many people started to use the tower all over the news and all kinds of lots of great PR with the tower garden. Back in the day, I guess we're going back to school now, but depending on where you are, the schools were using or still using the tower gardens in their classrooms, because when the students have their hand in that, they want to eat what they produce. Restaurateurs use it to grow produce for their restaurants. And it's just a hot way and hot thing to do right now is to grow. Now, the question is, what can you grow? So you can grow all kinds of things: lettuce, kale, beans, cilantro, eggplant, squash. I mean, the list is endless. Edible flowers. The only thing that you cannot grow would be your root vegetables. So that would be your carrots, beets, onions, but you can grow green onions, chives, but anything that's rooted can't grow. And then people ask me, because you can grow fruit, you can grow watermelon and cantaloupe and strawberries. And someone asked me, can you grow oranges? And oranges come from a tree, right? An orange tree, or lemons come from the lemon tree. So no, they don't do those citrus fruits, but all of your veggies, yes. So here are some pictures of the tower and some of the ways that a variety of people. So this is Whole Foods. They have a tower in one of the Whole Foods somewhere, and they're getting the produce and giving it to you in the stores. And this, my friends, is mine. I get excited about this, that this is literally, and again, no green thumb here. These are the things that I grew this past summer: the peppers, the squash, or zucchini, cabbage, oh my goodness, cucumbers, and all of the produce that you grow tastes amazing. Nothing, cannot compare it to what you get in the stores. Actually, you could compare it and you'll know once you start eating from the tower that what you were eating in the stores, you know that you weren't eating the nutrition. So there's a snapshot of what you can grow, right? So the top examples, there's so many different varieties, but an example, the top, you can do basil, cilantro, dill, mint, parsley. The middle, arugula, chard, kale. So I love salads. And the bottom, so the bottom is where your heavier plants are: cucumbers, green beans, peppers, tomatoes, zucchinis. Amazing, you guys. I get so excited because this is taking control of your food for you and your family. And with the tower, you can grow indoors or outdoors. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We have growers that are in cold climates. I'm here in California, so I grow outdoors. It really depends, but it's flexible enough to do that. The tower garden makes gardening affordable. Sometimes people say, oh, it's expensive, and it's not. And I'll explain that and I'll show it to you. It pays for itself. It's designed to work, built to last. So it's once you have it, it's yours. I've had mine since 2016 and I own it, and it pays for itself and all. It's like printing money, because I just don't have to buy this produce in the stores. There's two different models, the home and the flex. And the home is, as it says, is designed to go in your home. It is smaller, and you can push it to the side and enjoy your produce that way. Miss Kemi, hang on for a little bit if you can, one of our sharers. So hang on, little mama, we'll get to you in just a little bit. So the home, again, is more of a greens. It does herbs and greens, and it does smaller tomatoes, but it's not something that if you're growing in home, you don't want to grow like cucumbers, because cucumbers want to vine and grow all over the place. So you don't want to grow these heavy produce in the home. The flex, however, is the outside unit, and that's the one that is more flexible and grows just about everything, the cucumbers and the tomatoes and all of those things, because it's outside and it can grow and vine, and you can have trellises and all of those things. So those are the two different models. The cost, the investment for the tower flex, because that's where people are like, I love this, I want it, how much is it? So I will share with you, I thought it was affordable, because for the tower flex, it is 12 payments of $56. And that includes everything that you need, $56.67. That is the seeds, the everything, so the nutrients, everything. So you don't need to purchase anything additional at that time. Now, if you wanted wheels or if you wanted a cage and all of those things, then you can, but for 56, 67, you can get started growing. And once you purchase your tower, you get your tower. So you're basically paying the 56.67, and then you have 12 months to pay your tower off. You can pay it off sooner, whatever you want to do, but it's a monthly payment. And once it's done, it's done. No interest, any of that. And you have the ports 20, you can grow 20 different plants there. 20 of the same, 20 different ones, full-size plants with the flex. With the tower home, the one that belongs inside, it is 81 something or other monthly payments. Why is it more? Because it has lights. And in order to grow inside, you have to grow lights. And they increase the investment a little bit more if you're growing inside. And with the tower home, you can grow 32 plants and a lot of microgreens and everything. So you have the home or the flex. I have the flex. And then, so we'll get to that in a little bit. And then if you can see this, I don't know if you can, but it shows what the yield is. It's a little bit of a small photo, but it shows that in 6 months, you could save about $800 in produce, depending on what you have, because you're not buying it at the store. And what people don't realize is that once you get a plant, it keeps on giving. So my plants, $2 to plant it, and then it lasts for 6, 7, 8 months. And I don't have to buy that, right? So my kale and my chard and all of those stuff, you clip it, you eat it, and the next day it's there, and it's a lot. So it is a savings, and I love it. And then lastly, just a couple of photos of towers and strawberries and folks loving their produce. And I think that's it. Before we open it up to questions, I'm going to stop my screen, and we're going to have Kimmy and Elizabeth show their tower. I'm going to have Kimmy go first, Elizabeth, and then we'll have you show yours. Miss Kimmy, can you unmute yourself and come on to show your tower? Thank you. Show your video. So Miss Kimmy is going out to show her tower. And just so you all know, Kimmy is 15 years old and she cooks from that tower. What did you make last time? Hello?
Nothing with the tower. Am I unmuted? Okay.
You're unmuted. You made bok. You said you made cabbage.
Oh.
Is that not true?
Not last night. No.
No, I didn't say last night. I said the last time. And so you all know that Kimmy.
Time.
Yes, last time.
I made a stir fry with like I used some bok choy and cabbage off the tower, and I just some noodles and some chicken, and yeah, and I made like a stir fry.
Okay. And what's on the tower? Can you tell us?
This is our cabbage. It's like kind of big, and then bok choy, more bok choy. Some type of lettuce.
Okay.
Over here, this is spinach, I think. Let's see.
Where's the chard?
The chard is up here.
Okay. And then
let's see. This is broccoli.
Let's see the broccoli.
Yeah. That's broccoli.
Broccoli.
And it's going from here. It's kind of like got tangled up. This is more spinach, I think. This is lettuce.
That's what do you call it? Romaine, right?
Oh yeah. I think this was cauliflower or broccoli. And then
there's a purple something. And the reason why we don't know what it is because we planted some things and
label it.
We didn't label them. Yeah. So I don't know.
This is more lettuce, green onions, spring onions, and then this I think is a part of the broccoli. And it's mostly lettuce.
And we have flowers there we have flowers. Oh, there's two things. We have edible flowers, but when your plants are reach their end of their life, they'll start to grow flowers as well. So thank you so much, Kimmy. Appreciate that. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Okay, and then let me make sure everyone is muted. Elizabeth, can you share? And Elizabeth has been growing. Share with us how long you've been growing, Elizabeth, and then what you have out there growing.
Well, sure. Happy to. I've been growing since 2017. We got this first tower right here, the one with the wheels on it. And then because I didn't think I had a lot of patio space, I went up and added an extension and a microgreen extension on it. And have been growing on that for quite some time. And then you see how these violas right here are just flourishing. And these are some of the edible flowers that Robin talked about. And we put them in our salads. I have a friend that puts them on her cookies to make them beautiful. And so I've been growing on this one since 2017 in the mid-year. And I made a mistake the first year by putting way too many tomato plants on it. This year I'm growing strawberries.
Let's see them. Oh my goodness.
They are happy.
Wow.
They are flourishing. This is my bok choy. I've got to harvest some of the bok choy, but there's even more strawberries. And strawberries, y'all, the reason why I'm growing them, they're the most contaminated fruit that we can buy with pesticides and so forth. So I'm growing our own and they are just flourishing here. Very happy. Very, very happy. And you want to keep your pH lower with the strawberries, but there's spinach, kale, parsleys, celery, cilantro. This is the rainbow chard, which I never ate until I grew it. And I found that I like it. And I've got some marigolds coming, tarragon. And then we got this one, the home version. I've got some green peppers coming. Isn't that cute?
Oh, yes.
This is the one that's like $81.67 a month. And it comes on rollers and it has a built-in microgreen extension. I have to pull away. I have to do some harvesting here today. But see this is romaine. Look at that. You never see romaine like that in the grocery. That green, that deep green color. And what I do is, because see, here is some spinach right here. And that spinach is getting ready to bolt. Like Robin was explaining to you, that once they start to get a flower, that's going to bolt and that's not going to keep producing. But look how large these these spinach leaves are. I mean, just phenomenal. And what I do is, if I don't want it today, I will freeze it and put it in a smoothie later. And I tend to keep seedlings going, because when you're ready to pull, then you want to put some new plants in. And in here we have some kale and some lettuce and chives that are going to go in there. So
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
I love it. So I am going to answer a few questions that I know y'all have, and then open it up to see if you guys have additional questions before we head off, because we're coming to toward the end. But here are the questions that people usually have. What about bugs, right? So we have many different ways to mitigate bugs, and Elizabeth is showing you a vegetable garden stop bugger, I guess you could say, and it's you use that right before you get bugs, right, Elizabeth?
Yeah, I do. I tend to. You just spray it right on the plant like that, and because we get the white butterflies that like to lay eggs on there. But this is People and Pet Safe, and all it is rosemary oil, sesame oil, peppermint oil, thyme oil, cinnamon oil, and garlic oil. So it's just a bunch of oils and water and glycerin that you spray on. So it's edible to you too. And then I was going to show here, because I need to pull these today. Those are my bunching onions.
Awesome.
That have started to make the onion is coming out of there. See that?
Wow.
That fascinates me. So
got it. Beautiful. So we have ways to mitigate that. I also learned that they don't like cinnamon or cayenne pepper. So what I've been doing, I literally didn't even purchase what Elizabeth has. I just sprinkle
Mhm.
cayenne pepper along the base and the top and on some of the leaves. And this season I've had no bugs since I've learned. So to make a long story short, there's easy ways to prevent bugs, and it's better to prevent them than when you get them trying to get them off.
Right.
So
Right.
so for growers, there's so many resources for growers where if you have questions, we have monthly live sessions for growers. There's a humongous Facebook group with like 20,000 growers. There's so many resources. So when you become a grower, a part of our community, we're there to help you along the way. And then other questions we will have is about maintenance. And so you usually take the tower down and clean it about every 6 months, completely clean it. And but the water does, let me ask this, does the product you use to get rid of bugs change the flavor of the items? No. So yeah, no, it doesn't. And so so Elizabeth uses that. I don't use any of that. I just use, the other thing, y'all, to get rid of bugs, literally you just spray water on it initially. Like you would go out there every now and then and literally, because you don't have to water it, it waters itself. But I will go out and spray the tower down. Just to, if there's any bugs sitting there, I would do that. What do you eat? Elizabeth's always eating something. The other beauty of the tower is that you can move with it, right? So if you had a garden in the ground, you can't just pick your garden up and take it with you. And so it moves with you. So that's a beautiful thing. All right, any questions from the visitors before we wrap up? You can type in a question in the chat, or you're welcome to unmute and ask a question. But can we keep the Flex inside? So yes, the Flex can go inside. It's just bigger than the Home. So the Home is smaller, designed to just go in the corner somewhere. The Flex has a larger basin, but it can be inside. And so the Flex can be inside and the Home can be outside. So both of them can go either inside or outside. But if you're growing inside, you have to have grow lights. You can't get away from having the lights. Some people in different climates where they will grow half the year outside and half the year inside, just depending on where they are. Some people have the Flex for outside and then the Home for inside. What I do recommend though, if you're new to growing, my recommendation, because I learned this the hard way, when you first start growing, you really want to start with what's easy and quick, which are lettuces but you don't want to, I say start off with like the cucumbers and tomatoes and all of that. I would say that's like the next level once you've mastered just growing the simple greens and everything. Great questions. We have a little bit of like a minute or two to answer.
I want to pop in here on the cucumbers and tomatoes. The thing people forget is the cucumber and the tomato, that's the fruit of the plant. So it's kind of like strawberries, and growing strawberries, when you first get them, see, this is a new plant that I planted, and it's leafed out really nicely, but it's the actual bud that is going to create the strawberry. So you have to wait until that matures and then until it ripens before you're ready to get the fruit. So the fruit is at the very end of the growing cycle of the plant. So that's why Robin is counseling you to start with the lettuces, because and bok choy, bok choy, I can't tell you how delicious this bok choy is. The other thing that I absolutely love to grow are sweet peas. You saw me eating one earlier. I just love these sweet peas. They're delicious. But so that's what you have to keep in mind as a new grower. That's the fruit of your labors, and that's going to come at the very end of the growing cycle. I didn't know until I grew strawberries that it's actually the bud that creates the berry.
Yes. So I want to say this, it's springtime, y'all, and this is a perfect time to grow. And in the spring, let me tell you what grows best in the spring. I'm going to read it real quick. Beans, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, collards, endive, kale, lettuce, parsley, peas, radish, spinach, Swiss chard. Those are some snapshots of what grows in the spring. I does the system have the ability to self-check the pH levels? So you have to check the pH levels, but it comes with the material to check the pH. So you don't have to get those pH strips. It comes with it. You don't need to check it daily. And the truth be told, if I'm being honest, I don't check my pH very often. So you check your pH when you add water. And then Elizabeth can chime in on this one. So I am a lazy gardener. I like do the bare minimum. So I would check my pH literally in the fall or the winter. I check it probably every 3 weeks, but you check it every time you add water. In the summer, the plants drink more water. So you're adding. Elizabeth, do you want to chime in? How often are you checking your pH?
No, I pretty much get it set and then I leave it alone.
Yeah, when I was a new
what I've
grower,
learned
I would.
from growing the strawberries, people were telling me, oh, you need the pH a lot lower. Well, not a lot lower, but I do keep my pH lower because as plants mature, they raise the pH of the water. So that's why you want to keep it lower.
Got it. Well,
Go ahead.
I will encourage you all to contact the person that invited you here to find out more. Again, I say this is a perfect time to start growing. And so before we say goodbye, I just want to remind you that to contact the person that invited you here. Also,